All right, today's album review is Led Zeppelin 3, 10 songs, 42 minutes, 59 seconds, produced by Jimmy Page, and released on October 5th, 1970. This is, okay, let's get into it. The album cover is, it's a white, it says Led Zeppelin in this weird font, and then it's got all kinds of things on it, like, there's Led Zeppelins like that, there's butterflies like that, and then, there's flowers. There's all kinds of weird stuff. It's just a bunch of stuff thrown on a white canvas. And then on the back cover, you got a picture of the band, and that's John Bonham, and he's no longer with us. And then the other three, Page Plant and John Paul Jones. And looks like I just noticed this. This is is this a BMG reprint? Yeah, I think most of my Led Zeppelin CDs I've had for a long time. Does that say BMG? Yeah, manufactured for BMG. So I probably got this in the 90s, and I've had it forever. On the back, on the inside cover, you've got the songs and the publishing rights and all that stuff, and the length of each song and the number of each song. And then on the inside, you've got the same sort of like, more like a design layout of the front cover. And I can see it a little better than what I can see on the front cover, because there's like airplanes and there's a castle, there's a building, there's more butterflies, and there's just a bunch of stuff. So a little bit artsy for me, and but strikingly different from Led Zeppelin 1 and 2. And then of course it's a Led Zeppelin CD on Atlantic, so it's got the green and red, which a lot of the Atlantic records do. Okay, so Led Zeppelin 3. 3 sounds like the acoustic dark record recorded in a cottage Led Zeppelin album. That's the best way to describe it. That's exactly what they did. They went to the country and like in a forest, and they recorded it there in a cabin. It has masterful guitar playing by Jimmy Page, especially the acoustic stuff. He's just a wizard. And it's quite a contrast from Led Zeppelin 1 and 2, which are more blues-based, rock, metal. That's the best way to describe 1 and 2. I mean, this one is, there's a little bit of that rock in it and some metal, but this one is basically an acoustic album, if I had to summarize it. Seems like they were just out in the woods jamming, and that's what you get here. And, yeah, probably why I like it. Special note, before we get into the detail of the songs, this album doesn't have the plagiarism accusations that Led Zeppelin 1 and 2 have. So you're not going to hear me talk about they took this song from this guy or they ripped it off and have to give them rights subsequently or anything like that. This is just a straight up, most of these songs are authored by Page, Plant, Jones, or just Page and Plant. There's one traditional song. We'll handle that when we get there. Okay, got it? The first track is Immigrant Song, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. It's a Page Plant song. And this is one of the very few heavy metal songs on the album, or metal-ish, I guess. You metal fans will probably tear me apart for saying that, but this is really pre-metal. About this song, I remember hanging out at my neighbor's house and blasting this song in high school. And I'm fairly certain that WAPL out of Appleton, Wisconsin used to play this song. Not regularly, but every now and then. It's in the key of A major, and the tempo is 112 beats, and it's in 4/4 time. The song starts with the chorus after the ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, kind of like you're riding a horse kind of song. We come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun, where the hot springs flow. The chorus are 8 bars, and that chorus kind of repeats throughout the song. And about that line, so the land of ice and snow, I guess they wrote this song after visiting Iceland. And so they wrote this sort of like Icelandic song, but it's got all the Norse god imagery in it, like if you can think about Thor. Okay, and the verse of the song is, the hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new land to fight the horde, sing and cry Valhalla, I am coming. So it's a song all about Valhalla and Thor and Odin and two and all those guys. It's the verse is 8 bars. Oh, by the way, they played that song in one of the Thor movies at the end. But the refrain is "On we sweep with threshing ore, our only goal with the western shore is 4 bars." And that's pretty much the song. There's no room for solos or instrumentals or anything like that. It's a quick song. And the song structure is chorus, verse, refrain, chorus, verse, refrain, verse, outro. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's a pretty simple song for Led Zeppelin. That's a good start to the album. Track 2 is Friends, 3 minutes and 54 seconds, Page and Plant song. And the big thing about this song is the strings. It's kind of like the strings are it seems like it's always there. And there's a weird thing that in this song, what it does in the middle of the verse and the chorus, there's like a doot 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 where the time signature changes in Friends. Uh, so those are the two memorable things for me about Friends. It's in the key of C major, and it's a fast tempo and 4/4 time. And in the verse, Robert Plant sings a bright light, almost blinding black light. There's no shining for 16 bars, and the chorus is, I'm telling you, the greatest thing you can ever do now. 8 bars, you know, and the song kind of repeats. There's an instrumental break that's fairly short. I mean, it's less than 4 minutes, so there's not a lot of room to do a lot of jamming in this song. It's a verse instrumental, and then the chorus, and then the verse instrumental, the chorus, and then there's like a post-chorus, and then the outro, and that's the song. Friends. Not like Friends, the TV show, though. The third track is Celebration Day on Led Zeppelin 3. It's 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Again, another shorter song. It's a Plant Page, John Paul Jones. This is the most interesting song on the album to me. I like the bass part in the song, and Jimmy Page is kind of just doing everything. He does it all, and he does it all on this song. And there's multiple guitar parts. And also, that's sort of like a running theme on this album is Jimmy seemed to like layered the guitar parts in here and there all over the place. And so there's multiple guitar parts, but especially on this track, you can really hear it. It's in the key of A major and a moderate rock tempo, and it's in 4/4 time, but it's in cut time, so you count it like 1 2 1 2. And I may have counted this song wrong because of the cut time. I think I was going 1 2 3. Well, either way, it's probably the same. But the verse is, her face is cracked from smiling, all the fears that she's been hiding. That's how the verses start for 12 bars. And the chorus is, my, I'm so happy. I'm going to join the band. We're going to dance and sing in celebration. We're in the promised land. And Robert sings that for 8 bars in a real high falsetto voice. I can't sing like Robert Plant. I don't think anybody can. So I won't even try. The solo is 8 bars. And the solo's kind of doing like a mayor thing. And it's probably the most interesting song on the album. Like I said, it's a verse chorus, that guitar solo, the final verse, and the outro. And that, like, they even had a big celebration in 2008ish and they named it Celebration Day, right? Track 4 on Led Zeppelin 3 is Since I've Been Loving You, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. So this is the first longer song, and it's a Page Plant Jones. And this song has a really extended opener introduction, and it's a very blues. This is the first blues type song on the record that I mentioned in the introduction. It sounds very much like Pink Floyd does some bluesy, or David Gilmour does at least on his solo albums. But it's kind of got that blues, like a B.B. King type feel to it. Key of E flat, which is unusual for any song, really. That's probably why it has such a weird feel to it. E flat is not used very often. I guess F sharp, but it's in 3/4 time. So that's another thing. It's like a 1 2 3 1 2 3 at a real fast tempo. The verse is Robert singing, working from 7 to 11 every night really makes life a drag for 16 bars. And then there's a pre-chorus. I've been working from 7 to 11 every night. I said it makes kind of life a drag, Lord, yeah. That ain't right now for 16 bars. And then the chorus is, since I've been loving you, yeah, I'm about to lose my worried mind for 12 bars. The bridge, there's a bridge in this song. So this is the first complex song on the album where you've got like verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, solo, everything. The bridge is the part we said I've been crying, yeah, oh my tears, they fell like rain. Don't you hear them? Don't you hear them falling? The bridge is long. It's about 28 or 30 bars, depending on when you stop the counting. But it's a very long part especially for a bridge. It's very common for a bridge to be 8 bars and 8 bars only, or if you double it for 16 bars. The solo is a whopping 48 bars in 3/4 time. That's long, especially for a Led Zeppelin. Now, there's some really longer Rush, if you guys remember the Rush reviews. There's a bunch of Alex Lifeson, 40-bar solos, but for Led Zeppelin, that's pretty long. This song is a verse, chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, guitar solo, the bridge, and then the pre-chorus and the chorus, and that's the song, Since I've Been Loving You. Very long song. And that's how you make it long. You just extend stuff out. Since I've Been Loving You. Track 5, Out on the Tiles, 4 minutes and 7 seconds, also by Page, Plant, and Jones. It looks like an AABA, but it sounds more like a verse-chorus arrangement. The trick is they do verse, and then the chorus, which, if you think about the Beatles songs or the Beatles covers that they did, AABA, that B is a bridge. But here it's a chorus, so... by the way, Out of the Tiles, this is going to sound backwards, but I went to the Les Pool concert back in July. And there's a Les Pool song that kind of does this. And that's what this song kind of does. So I don't know if Les heard this song and took it or borrowed it, or maybe he just... I don't know. I don't know a lot about what Les Claypool listens to. Anyway, this song is it's the key of F sharp major. I guess, is that the same as E flat major? Probably. 4/4 time. The verses, as I walk down the highway, and then that's about 12 bars-ish. And then the chorus is, all I need from you is all your love. 16 bars. And then the outro is really long. It's a 60-bar outro. It just goes on and on and on. But the song is simple. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus, and then that really long outro to get you to 4 minutes. Track 6 is Gallows Pride, 4 minutes and 56 seconds on Led Zeppelin 3. It's another Plant Page song, but they borrowed it from a guy named Francis James Child. This song was originally a poem by Francis James Child called The Maid Freed from the Gallows. I took that from Genius. Later it was interpolated by Leadbelly as the Gallus Pole, who surely inspired Zeppelin to put their own spin on it. Yeah, I mean, it's an okay song. Key of A major, fast tempo, 4/4 time. It's a real simple verse, outro. That's the song structure. And the verses are real long at 38 bars. I mean, the verses just go on forever. Hangman, hold it a little while. I think I see my friends coming, riding many a mile about. I mean, it's almost like a really long poem that they're singing. Well, that's because it is a poem. Gallows Pole on Led Zeppelin 3. Good song. Track 7 on Led Zeppelin 3 is Tangerine, 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and Words and Music by Jimmy Page. But my research says this is an old Yardsburg song. It's very country sounding and it's actually kind of a nice little tune. Key of G major and slow tempo and 4/4 time. The verse for Tangerine is, measuring a summer's day, I only find it slips away to gray, the hours they bring me pain. It's about 12 bars. And the chorus is, Tangerine, living reflection from a dream, 16 bars. I like the songs that are like 12-bar verse. It feels more natural. But it has a blues feel, even though it's like a country sounding, it's got a very bluesish catchiness to it. But the solo is about 18 bars. Okay, and it's a verse, guitar solo, chorus. Very short song at 3 minutes. Track 8 for Led Zeppelin 3 is That's the Way, 5 minutes and 37 seconds. So we're stretching it out a bit here. Another a very acoustic song by Page and Plant in the key of G major, 100 beats per minute, British country, ballad tempo, 4/4 time. The verse, I don't know how I'm going to tell you, I can't play with you no more. It's 24 bars of singing. But then there are like phrases in the singing in between, almost like each verse is really each verse is really like 3 verses. Does that make sense? So for 24, think of it as 3 8-bar verses, or one big verse of 24 bars with like a phrase in it. The chorus is that's the way, oh, that's the way it ought to be. 12 bars. I just had a Rush moment. That's the way it's going to be. It's a verse, chorus, verse, chorus. That's the Way by Rush. Of course, it's not Rush, it's Led Zeppelin. Track 9 is Bron-y-aur Stomp. 4 minutes and 16 seconds. It's a Page Plant Jones. And by the way, these are the last 2 songs. They're the best 2 songs on the album, my opinion. The key of G major or F major. So I saw 2 different versions of the sheet music. F major seems to be right to me because I was looking at the piano guitar vocal version, which is written in for piano. The version that was in G major had it was written for guitar, but it also had instructions to tune your guitar down. So I think this is a song in F major. I didn't do a compare. I should have ran it by my keyboard, but I didn't. I never thought of it. 112 beats per minute tempo and 2/4 time. So you just count 1 2 1 2, and quarter notes get the beat. The verse is 24 bars with some time changes in there, and Robert Plant is singing, "Caught you smiling at me. That's the way it should be." Another song, huh? That's the way it should be. The last song was That's the Way It Ought to Be. This song is That's the Way It Should Be. Imagine that. I just had a moment. The chorus is, as we walk down the country lanes, I'll be singing a song. Hear me calling your name, about 16 bars with the time changes in there. And I don't know if they're really just time changes or it's just Jimmy Page, In the second chorus, there are some extra measures in the middle for Jimmy Page guitar gymnastics. I mean, he's just really jamming. That's kind of how the whole album feels, honestly, is like it's a Jimmy Page jam fest on an acoustic guitar. The bridge is my, la la la, come on now, it ain't too far, 24 bars of that. And then the acoustic rhythm guitar solo in the middle of this song, that's how I'll describe it. It's like an acoustic rhythm guitar solo. It's not like a lead guitar solo. It's like in Justice for All, like a long running rhythm guitar solo. It goes from 2 minutes and 55 seconds to 3 minutes and 27 seconds, or about 56 beats plus a couple extra beats at the end. The verse, chorus, bridge, verse, outro. So another complex song here with verses and choruses and bridge. And a guitar solo. Bron-y-aur Stomp. And then track 10 is Hats Off to Harper, or Hats Off to Roy Harper, 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And it's a traditional track. I don't know the genesis of this track, but like I said, the last 2 songs are the best 2 songs on the album. And it's in the key of C major. It's a bright tempo, 4/4 time. And the verse is... It's 8 bars. When I done quit hollerin', baby, I believe I'll shake him down, get my babe. Won't be late. And the chorus is, well, I've done quit hollerin', baby. I've been shaking him down, shaking him It's almost the same. Another 16 bars of chorus. Plus at the end, the chorus kind of goes on, so it's 16 bars plus some extra measures there. And this, another simple one: verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, outro. Hats off to Harper. Like I said, the last two songs are my favorite, and then you've got Immigrant Songs, okay, and you got Celebration Day. Those are my picks on this album. I like this album. Let's get into the summary. ProgArchives.com. Yeah, I mean, you probably don't think of Led Zeppelin as prog, but they're proggy. They're bluesy rock, but there's like a progginess to them, especially in their later albums. But the progginess is here too. I mean, it's I mean, Jimmy, the way Jimmy jams, Jimmy Page is it just it's prog like in the way that Test for Echo is prog like. But progarchives.com gives it a 3.94, which I agree with. I mean, this is a good album. Allmusic.com gives it 5 stars, and the Rolling Stone Record Guide gives it 4 stars. This album is just different. It's not your typical Led Zeppelin album, and I think that's why I enjoy it a lot. It's like, stop giving me the same sandwich every day. I want something different, and this one is different. I have this one third in the Led Zeppelin albums ranking. I've got it behind Presence number 1 and Led Zeppelin 2 number 2, and this is my third favorite, and it's because it's different. I think it's cool. I'm gonna link you to a story here from UltimateClassicRock.com, and it's got Led Zeppelin acoustic song rankings. Their top 10. Hey Hey, What Can I Do is the B-side of the Immigrant Song, so it's sort of like it's a Led Zeppelin 3 song, but it didn't make the album, if you know what I mean. That's number 10 on the Ultimate Classic Rock Led Zeppelin acoustic songs list, with 3 other songs from this album. So Friends made it, Gallo Pole made it, and That's the Way. I think hats off to Harper and Bron-y-aur Stomp should be there. In fact, I think those should be number 1 and 2, but they didn't make the list. But I know not everybody agrees with me, and I'm not trying to be disagreeable. It's just I think my tastes are different. Even my Led Zeppelin tastes are different. My Rush tastes are different. My Pink Floyd tastes are different. So, but that's what makes life interesting. I wouldn't want to do the same workout every day either. So, that's it. Thanks for listening to Led Zeppelin 3. Next on the channel will be King Crimson Lizard. I wrote that one last week. I wrote this one last week and yesterday. But I have to figure out what to do after Lizard. I have a very long list of albums, and I keep adding albums to it. So I'll go through that, and I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out today and tomorrow. All right? But next will be Lizard. I'm out. Thank you.